Alright, hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we check out one of the supposed holy grails of metal amps. The VHT Fryette Pittbull Ultra Lead. Let's get into it. Okay, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my iconic video that I put out a while back. Again, still really enjoy that amp. For those wondering, yes, I am going to be keeping the iconic. I like it a lot, and I'm going to use it largely in a YouTube context for stuff like this. I'm very curious how it, as a $800 to $900 amp, stands up against these super rare, hard to find freaking amps that we have here. But today is about one of those super rare, hard to find amps. Like I said, the VHT Pittbull Ultra Lead. This amp is super difficult to come by now. The rumor mill swirls and says that Fryette is working on a updated version of the Pittbull, like they did release an updated version of the Deliverance. But until that happens, as of right now, it seems like nobody wants to sell these amps. They're very hard to get your hands on. But after playing the Deliverance and really freaking falling in love with it, I decided right then and there, I have to finally try this amp and see what all the hype is about. And I will say, so far, I think that the hype and what people say is very much warranted. And what do people say? They say that people say that the Fryette and VHT amps are just like super freaking dry, and that the Pittbull is the Pittbull Ultra Lead is the driest and meanest sounding of them all. And so far, I fully agree with that. I even noticed when I was first playing the Deliverance, I was like, and comparing it to things, I was like, yeah, I guess I would call this dry, but not like exceptionally so, you know? Now that I'm playing the Pittbull, I'm like, yeah, this is a dry amp. For instance, I'm not gonna do it in this video, but when I play these two next to each other and compare them, which I am gonna do in a video at some point, I can dial the Pittbull to sound very similar to my favorite tones on the Deliverance, but the Deliverance is always gonna feel just a little bit juicier, a little bit more saturated. And right now, I feel like more people generally would probably prefer the Deliverance than the Ultra Lead, whereas this does a very specific thing and does it very, very well, and it's super unique. Like, it doesn't sound or feel like any other amp that I've ever played. I think it's really, really cool. But I think that the Deliverance probably has more mass appeal to it, which is good because you can actually find these. These are daggone near impossible to find. It's basically a 2.5 channel amp because it has a full clean channel, and then the lead and rhythm channels over here, they share an EQ, KT88 power tubes and all that. Of course, I did. One of the ones that's really hard to find is an Ultra Lead with the graphic EQ. So I did get a model that has the graphic EQ on it. I'm pretty much going to leave the graphic EQ where it is. I haven't fully decided how I want to approach the graphic EQ. Because yeah, this general V shape tends to be what folks go for, and it's like, it's just known to be good. I have experimented with it. I'm going to continue to experiment with it. I've never been a person that likes to do exactly what other people do. But that said, yeah, this sounds great. And even micro adjustment, that's the thing. You can have a general V shape, but even micro adjustments of each slider here make a pretty huge difference in your tone. So my V shape isn't gonna be exactly the same as somebody else's V shape, which I like. I just have it set how it sounds good to me as of right now. But I'm sure it'll change based on what guitar and what boost I'm using. But that said, for this video, I've already pre-dialed that in, and we're gonna mess with the regular 3-band EQs and my overdrives and everything here. That said, I think I've said enough. My signal chain will be down in the description. Let's go ahead and start playing this. I'm gonna go ahead and just skip the clean channel because who cares? It sounds great. It's a good clean channel. Don't really care. Let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start on where I have. All right, so I've already dialed in this amp a little bit. We'll start right there. I have my Origin Effects Revival Drive on as well. Really nice. So this amp is a little buzzy, like it's a little loud when it's just sitting there ready to go. I could probably plug an overdrive into the effects loop to get rid of that. But yeah, it's totally fine. I thought that sounded phenomenal. It's just a really great sounding amp, and it really enjoys the revival drive and pretty much every overdrive I've thrown at it so far. I'm going to turn off the overdrive in this next section so you can hear what that sounds like. It sounds really good. Usually I use an overdrive all the time, literally just to, you know, increase my pick attack just a little bit and make the pick attack feel a little bit more concise and just exaggerated. This is definitely one of those amps where you don't need that at all, but it's just a preference of mine. But still, I will turn it off so y'all can hear what it sounds like. Other things about this amp. So this amp does have, you know, a master volume, and it has the individual volume controls, and it's super useful. So its master volume is like not quite as good and sophisticated as like on my KSR Artemis, but it's like right behind it. It's I can play this amp very, very quietly. You cannot do that on the older Deliverances. I think that they upgraded the master volume on the newer Deliverance models that came out, but this amp, it pretty much just goes from quiet and then jumps up to being super freaking loud. This amp, I can easily play it at bedroom volumes, which is great to me. That's it. Let's go ahead and play some more and turn off the revival drive here. You'll hear when I do that. So yeah, there we go. That's kind of just messing around with it on the with no boost. It's fine. You can get really, really great sounds out of it that way as well. But again, just as a player, I very much prefer all my amps for the most part boosted. So here I'm going to turn on the Duality DAE on its blue channel. So it's really just getting it a little bit of volume boost, a little bit of high boost, and a little bit of low cut. That's it. So at first I was using my revival drive, which is kind of a transformative overdrive. It does a whole heck of a lot. It's just makes amps sound exactly how I want them to sound. Now I'm going to turn on the DAE on its blue mode and just give it a little bit of extra push and do most of the shaping on the amp. So now for the rest of this video, we're going to stay on the lead channel and I'll mess with both the normal and high gain modes. So I'm going to jump over to an 8-string guitar. We're going to use my Agile, whatever it is, Chiral something or other with Fishman Fluence monitors. Here we go. we go. So this is similarly to the Artemis, an amp that has a whole lot going on. There's a whole bunch of features and just tone shaping options, and as a tweaker, I really freaking love that. That said, I've done like 3 videos on the Artemis since I've gotten it, because it's just, there's so much in it that you can't just get it all in one video, and you learn tips and you learn tricks and just you learn how to pull the best out of the amp over time. And I fully anticipate this amp to be a very similar case. There's presence and resonance controls on the back of the amp. I tend to really hate when amps put things that are very important for tone shaping on the back of it, but I understand. When you're packing this much into it, what are you gonna do? That's one of my favorite things with the Artemis. They solved that problem. But it's all good. No issues with it. Yeah, there's just a whole lot to love with this amp. I think it sounds really great. This is probably up there again in terms of one of my favorite amps to play without an overdrive. It's just really good. So yeah, as of right now, I'm going to do a video comparing it to the Artemis, or trying to anyway. There's so much on both of these amps. It's going to be an interesting video to make. But that said, yeah, this is definitely floating somewhere within my top 3 amps, up there with the Artemis and everything. But hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, you guys take care.